Hello everyone, it's James from Keeping It Anime, and today we'll be going over episode 90 of Yu-Gi-Oh! Vrains. So Blue Maiden versus Bohman. Now this duel is a very hard duel to predict, simply because they're both fighting for good reasons really. Bohman, let's be honest, he needs a win in order to cement himself as an antagonist, because to my knowledge he hasn't actually won a duel yet. As well as the fact is, he's supposedly fighting for revenge against Blue Maiden, for what she did with Haru. Beating him in a duel. And Blue Maiden, on the other hand, is fighting to get her friend's consciousness back, Miyu, from Bohman. Now, both duelists in this episode actually play really well. From what I can tell. I'm not brilliant in the whole sort of Yu-Gi-Oh card game, strategy-wise. I'm probably a casual player. But from what I can see, they're both playing really well. There's ace monsters being summoned, and there's also new cards being summoned. The whole link summoning is still not great, because they're always doing it. And it would be great if they can cut down on the amount of link summoning and just state how they did it. But I guess they had to leave that stuff in for clarification on how to get that monster out. It just takes up a lot of time, really. Okay, so this episode also does a good job of just basically showing us, the viewers, how good of a duelist Blue Maiden is. She even gets comments from Reveiw and Yusaku during this duel. So, you've got to hold them in high praise. As well as the fact is, the new crystal heart monster that Blue Maiden now possesses and uses is really cool, because sorry for the pun, but the effects, it follows suit with Earth's crystal heart simply because it's all about protection, so it's keeping that protective effect consistent really. And she's utilising it quite well, and I can't wait for next week's episode where she'll utilise it even more, hopefully. So during this duel, the whole of the Link of Vrains world, so the Mirror of Vrains and the normal Vrains, are both being affected. This is due to Bohman sort of almost powering up, almost like he's in another anime or something. But what this actually does to the episode is it adds a very nice static effect visually. And if you listen very carefully, you can actually hear the static noise that you'd be able to hear when you're sort of putting on headphones or something and all you hear is static or a radio. And I found that really nice. It's a really good effect that just made the episode that little bit more enjoyable. That's obviously personally speaking, of course, but it was a nice touch. And it's good to see Eisen again. Eisen is back in this episode, and he's now spectating the duel with his sister participating in. And he actually gets to see just how much progression Aoi has had, during this series. From watching this duel as a duelist as well as a character. Emma's also there to help sort of update Eisen on the situation so he can possibly help in future episodes. And judging from next week's preview, it looks like he'll be doing just that. So overall, this episode was really enjoyable. It's a very unpredictable duel, and it had good animation, it had good effects in terms of visual effects, and sound effects, and card effects really. New cards were added, as well as other ace monsters were used. Great character development for both Bohman and Blue Maiden. And honestly, like I said before, it's very hard to predict an outcome. But I'm going to give you my thoughts on who I think is going to win this duel. And honestly, it's a tough one to pick, but I'm going to say Blue Maiden. Now, the reason for saying that is simple. I'm not quite sure how many episodes are left of this series, or season, whatever you want to call it, I imagine Vrain's is going to go on for a long time, but this whole arc between Team Playmaker and Lightning, I don't know it's going to extend further. However, if we look at everything we know so far, Blue Maiden winning would make more sense, simply because she has a good goal to go towards, and she has a great chance now to actually achieve that goal. And if she achieves that goal, it's going to be sad, but we won't need to have Blue Maiden in the story for much longer. For this particular moment in time, really. So her character would be done. And if she loses, well, it will diminish her character slightly, simply because she won't be able to achieve her end goal. She would have to rely on Yusaku or Soulburner to do it for her. And even if, say, like, she somehow escaped like the whole vanishing death type of thing, then you would still need to have a couple of episodes to flesh out her character again, to show her resolve is, you know, still there and it hasn't wavered. And I just think it hasn't got enough time to do that. So if they make Blue Maiden win, they then put Lightning in a bad situation, which makes them do something drastic. And if you've read any summaries or seen any summaries for future episodes, we know that something drastic is coming up from Lightning. We don't know what that is yet, and I'm very intrigued to find out. Although I would like Bohman to win as well, I'm not really invested in his character. Given the choice, I would have Blue Maiden win, and I'm going to predict and go out on a whim and say she's going to win. Because they're building her character up in this episode to the point where, you know, she's not backing down at all. And had it been like the first couple of episodes where she was Blue Angel, she might have given up at this point. So that's my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Do you think Bohman's going to win, or do you think Awie's going to win? Or do you think the duel's going to be interrupted? Let me know down in the comments, and I'll look forward to reading them below. But other than that, that's going to wrap it up for this review. I hope you've enjoyed. If you have, smash that like button, or dislike if you disliked it. Subscribe if you're new, so you never miss a video from me. And until next time, my name's James Downton. Keep on dueling. Don't know why I said that. I normally say bye for now. Oh well.